It's a long story.
You'd rather not talk about it?
No, I understand.
I'd rather see.
Hello all, and welcome once again to Staff Asks Staff here on the Omega Republic. As you know, last time we had Siren Seahorn, and they have selected Soul once again to be the player on this game.
Hello, it is me once again.
Yes. We have a few questions of the day. We have myself, Cosmic, Firecracker, Ark, and Rune all have submitted questions for the Kieran today. So let's get right into it, shall we?
Let's go.
All right, I'm up first. We'll start off small and simple. I'm just curious, of the entire color spectrum, are there 3 colors that stand out more than the others?
Obviously I like cooler colors through my persona, like blues and purples and greens. But it's really hard for me to say that I have any sort of favorite color since I am an artist and I do like brighter colors such as reds and yellows and oranges. So it's very hard for me to say I have any one particular color I like, or any 3 particular colors I like most.
Well, is there any colors that, well, I know this is kind of not really part of the question, but I'm going to go ahead and change it up anyways. Are there any colors that you just look at and like, I do not want to use it?
Pink.
Really?
Especially like the neon pink stuff. That really just hurts my eyes. You can look through my artwork and I will actively avoid using pink in anything that I've drawn. Even if it's just like mouth colors, it'll be like a dull red or like a very grayish pink, but it won't be like a bright pink at all.
So colors like on My Little Pony being Pinkie Pie and Berry Punch, how do you feel about those pinks?
To be honest, when I first saw Pinkie Pie, I did not like her. It was because I also saw her at the very first episodes where her jokes were forced. So I'm like, okay, there's this hyperactive pony that's pink, that's kind of obnoxious with her jokes. I don't like this.
Oh my.
She grew on me.
Of course. All right, next up. It's the wolf's turn.
Alright, where's my calculator?
Well, he kept a little bit more down to earth with his questions this time. So, we'll go with what did you change on how you drew then to how you draw now?
Oh, jeez.
What techniques did you gain that you implored from when you first started drawing?
A lot has changed in my art style. I've gone from trying to go very anime to hyper-realistic to more of the furry style and the My Little Pony style. And yes, furry does have its own style, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of that does still reflect in my artwork, as I've taken little bits of what I learned from each of these deep dives, you can call them, into different styles. I've taken little things that I've liked, and I've tried to put them into my art style in general. I would say that I think one of the biggest things that changed was when I went from traditional artwork to digital artwork. And it's just, when I did the transition, I learned a lot more about color and color palette and color theory and shading through color, the sort of color theory in general.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing traditional, I did a lot of pen work. So, pencil and paper, cross-hatching, even some charcoal, but that was for a brief moment. I even would buy these just really cheap colored ballpoint pens, and through that I would use them to draw. So I had some really good pen control and shaping control through that, but I was very limited on colors in general, since you can only buy a certain amount of colored pens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the thing that's changed the most, is how much I put color into my works now.
Next. Cosmic.
Nice.
Here is another artist-based question. What is your least favorite thing to draw and why?
Least favorite thing to draw.
I think they might be going with like a specific type of character, a specific type of object, a background, a foreground, any kind of element.
I mean, obviously the things that I haven't practiced very much, I do need to practice a lot more on backgrounds and textures, but I haven't, for a long time, I haven't drawn anything human, if that makes any sense. I've been doing furry work for such a long time that it's hard for me to even get the proper head shape of a human anymore. I don't know if it's just because my skills have progressed while that has just stayed stagnant, so me trying to do it now feels like I've gone backwards, or if I actually have just gotten worse at it in general. Definitely humans.
Okay, now we get to mix things up a little bit. It's my second question. So, what kind of shoes do you like to wear?
I have a couple of different shoes that I wear all around. I really enjoy hiking boots because they add stability to my ankles, as I have bad ankles, so I like walking around and hiking, and I need that stability. For casual, I prefer either Converse or combat boots, but that's just kind of a style choice there.
Mm-hmm. This is true. Oh, firecracker.
That was close.
Very. All right, we got another personal question here. Why did you, Soul, pick a Kieran as your persona?
Oh, that is actually really hard to answer. I started off with a lot of different designs for Mountain. I never intended to be a quote-unquote Kieran to begin with. But basically through all my redesigns of Mountain, I just started to add things that I enjoyed from different animals, you know. I've lived around deer, I've on horses, I love dragons, I love snakes, I love artwork. So I just sort of combined these things together. And the more I combined them together, the more it became more like a Kieran. And then one day I just stumbled across what a Kieran is. And I was like, what? A Kieran and what I have are so similar, and what I have is so complicated to explain to people. Because it's not a dragon, but it's dragon, but it's not a snake, but it's a snake, but it's not a horse, but it's a horse, but it's, you know. So it's so complicated, and it's so similar to a Kieran, that I might as well just call myself a Kieran. And then I looked more into the mythology of a Kieran, and a Kieran is a benevolent creature that is strong and shows good tidings and is kind, but also can be a steward of the forest and a creature that can be, I don't want to be say angry, but it can be fierce. And the more I read about what a Kieran is, I also realized that is what I want to be. I want to be a steward. I want to guide people. I want to help take care of nature. I want to be someone who people can come to and not be afraid, but also understand that I can be fierce and I can be strong. And the more I looked into it, the more I just realized, this is perfect for me. This fits my character perfectly. And so I might as well just call myself a Kieran from now on.
And plus, you know, you don't burst into flames whenever you get mad.
No, I just show my fangs.
You see, there you go. Entirely different perspective from, you know, what My Little Pony did.
Obviously.
All right, Cosmic. We're nearing the end. All right.
Oh,
All right. This is a Star Wars question.
oh no.
If you could have any force power, Jedi or Sith, what would it be and why?
I'm going to make a lot of people angry.
Oh dear.
Say I don't actually know too much about Star Wars. I know pull and push, force, and I know zappy fingers, and that's all I know from Star Wars.
Well, there's also meditation and mind manipulation.
Gosh, that, okay. And how do those work? I don't even know.
Well, meditation allows you to focus your inner strength and also at the same time allows you to grow more mentally. Mind manipulation, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Star Wars movies, but in the original, which was called Episode 4, A New Hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi, also known as Uncle Ben, uses the Force to say, these are not the droids you're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
In minds that are susceptible to the Force, not necessarily weak, but for minds that aren't very, mentally strong, the Force can be used to just kind of, manipulate their minds just a little bit without actually hurting the individual.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'd just go for meditation. If I can improve myself, I can improve others through mind manipulation, just through words.
So you would use the meditation as a way of growing more.
Yeah.
Rather than having the actual ability to move stuff or create lightning or be able to, say go up to a bank and say, "You will give me $1 million for free."
Yeah, I'm not that type of person who would manipulate others.
I'm sure that there would be. I mean, it does. Granted, mind manipulation doesn't have to be used for evil. It can be.
With power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. Let's just say there was someone being a troll, which we know all trolls have very weak minds, and you would do something to them like, tell them to give back to the community or donate all their money to charity.
See, I don't like forcing people to do anything. I'd rather convince them through words. That's where meditation would come in. Where if I could meditate, become a wiser person myself, which I already try to be. I try to be wise. I try to be a kind person. Then through the words that I speak to others, I can convince them just through logic. Does that make sense?
It does. Rune asks, what's something you learned in the last week?
Oh, jeez. I guess I could say that I did check up on my garden, because it kind of is a self-growing garden, and, I really need to, trim back my oregano. So I guess I learned that today, or this week. I guess I could also say I've been listening to a audiobook, called, Braiding Sweetgrass. And in that book, it is written by a First Peoples who is also a botanist, I believe. So it's really interesting to see how she views plants and is so appreciative of just plants and life in general. So I think I've taken a little bit of that mindset. And I'm trying to be more appreciative of what the plants give us and what is around us, what is living around us.
Very well put. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has some, I believe it's blood thinning properties, so it's good for the heart in some ways.
So are you saying that all heart medicine is derived from plants?
I mean, technically, yeah. A lot of our medicines are from plants.
And we're gonna put that under the more you know.
Da, 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 da.
Alright, looks like the last question is Ark's. And Ark asks, what artwork have you done that you are most proud of?
As an artist, I'm always constantly improving. So I could technically say that whatever my last art piece is the one that I'm most proud of, because I'm always improving, I'm always learning. But there are a few that have stuck out in my mind that, when making them, took more time, more effort than I had put into pretty much anything else. And they're pretty simple. I think I might have sent a few pictures of them to you over Discord. But just the effort and time that I put into it at that point in my life where I was in my artwork journey, it was probably the best that I've ever done, and I was so excited and so proud of them. So, of course the bar is always moving. I'm always trying to improve. I'm always changing things up. And I can look at the artwork that I do today, and it's so much better than the artwork I did then when I was really proud of, but I can still see how much effort I put into it. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm trying to think of a good addition to that, but you pretty much covered everything in that synopsis. I think I'm using that word right. But I think that covers it. Hopefully that will satisfy Ark. Of course, if you are watching this and you are curious about Mountain Soul's artwork, I will leave a link down below in the description. The main source, of course, is Twitter, but Soul, I believe you have other sources.
Yeah, I have a linked tree. I'll send it to you so you can put it into the description.
And of course, as Soul mentioned, a link tree. Feel free to check out their artwork. And of course, here on the Omega Republic, we do have a lot of commissions done by Mountain Soul. A lot of wonderful and very beautiful commissions that you can check out, of course, on our Twitter feed and, of course, on YouTube thumbnails. So, we thank the Kieran once again for joining us here on the Omega Republic. Staff Asks Staff. And, of course, they have selected DDT to be the next guest for the next month's Staff Asks Staff. So stick around and bear with us for next month, and we'll see what the hipster pony has to offer. So we thank you for joining us here again on Staff Asks Staff. I am the host, Coppercat, joined by our guest Mountain Soul.
Yeah, thanks again for having me on.